Alright, now that we are actually recording.
Hello my fellow light bulbs, and welcome back.
I just want to mention this shirt. Awesome, by the way. The movie, guys. Ooh, that'll be another video, but the movie. Thank you for joining in again. In this video, it's actually another review. I'm going to be reviewing my brother's lightsaber that he just recently purchased, and it finally came in the mail. Let's just go and get right on into it. He purchased the Acolyte from Saberforge, and here it is. Beautiful, beautiful saber. Absolutely beautiful. Love it. Very, very similar to my Disciple, yet very different in its own way. Now the thing that I first noticed after seeing the saber, that it is definitely a bit larger than my Disciple. And in a size comparison, here is my Disciple, and then here it is up next to the Acolyte. The craftsmanship is awesome. Very clean edges, very smooth finish. The black accents along the whole saber are just wonderfully made. One of the things I was excited for about reviewing this saber was the sound font. On my saber, I have the Crimson sound font on my Disciple, and my brother got the Viridian sound font on his Acolyte. And so that's the big thing that I want to review right now. Not only is it a beautiful saber, but it's also just a gorgeous sound font. So just like on all of the other sabers they have the kill key. When you pull that out, you'll activate the saber.
Viridian.
This saber is red. I will eventually get another saber in here with a different color, I promise, guys. But unfortunately, we are all Sith here. Beautiful sound. Very nice. It's a very light font. You can definitely tell the difference how light this font is compared to the Crimson. Now with this sound font, whereas with the Crimson sound font, if you were to push the button again while it's on, it would do the saber lockup. But with this font, this one actually does a blaster block, which is really awesome. So here we got, you're waving it around, and you do that just by pushing the button, just like that. And here it is powering down. Beautiful font. Beautiful. In my previous video, I actually went over the tiers for Saberforge, what they have to offer and what comes in each tier. I also went through comparison on the companies that I have purchased from. Now in that video, I mentioned my opinion on the durability of the Saberforge blade versus the Ultra Saber blade. And this was my concern, just to recap. Saberforge, to hold their blades in, they have one screw. From these two sabers, that is how it is. There's only one screw holding in the blade. With my Ultra Sabers, both of these screws are holding in this blade. That is double the support for when this blade is being hit against another. And a few people in my previous video made comments about how I was not really telling the truth there, because Saberforge makes durable blades and make great sabers, and I'm not saying they don't. However, I have now reviewed two of the Saberforge sabers, and both of them have cracked their blades. This is the blade that my brother purchased with the Acolyte, and the other night, him and I went outside and actually started fighting with the two sabers, and lo and behold, there is a crack running down this saber. As you can see as well, just like I mentioned in my previous video, that right there is where the screws lay on the saber as it sits inside the emitter. Okay, and let me again show you the comparison of a Ultra Sabers. This is not me repping on Saberforge. This is me just giving you guys the information and the experience that has happened with me with their work. As a comparison, just to show you this one again, that's where the screw sits inside the Acolyte. This is where the screw sits inside of the Disciple, and this is where a screw sits inside of an Ultra Sabers. Look at that. Now, this blade has come in and out of this saber multiple times. That's why there are so many holes here. These are the original blades that came with my Ultra Sabers lightsaber. I have had this hilt for 3 years now, and I've beaten the snot out of this saber with these blades. These blades have been through hell and back, and there has yet to be a single crack anywhere on this blade. Nowhere. Now there are, of course, there are little dings here and there in the actual wall of the blade, but as for actual cracks happening, actual imperfections, there are none. And it's like that on both of my hilts. I cannot say the same for Saberforge. Within literally 5 minutes of fighting with the Saberforge, I got cracks in my blades. And I can guarantee you it is because that screw sits right there on the edge and it's putting so much pressure towards the edge of this thing that it cannot sustain the amount of force that's being hit. And I have seen videos of people smacking Saberforges together really hard, and there's not a thing happened to them. They're totally fine. No cracks at all. I eventually am going to purchase more Saberforges. This in no way is stopping me from purchasing more sabers from them, because I believe their quality in their hilts make up for that. If I want to buy a saber that I want to duel with and beat, I'm going to go with an Ultra Sabers, because from experience, this hilt and this blade has lasted me 3 years of pure hell, whereas a Saberforge has lasted me a week. So that is my rant. Sorry if it was offending anybody. I know I want to offend anybody. I love Saberforge. I love Ultra Sabers. So, what came with this saber? Just like I mentioned in my previous video, I go over the tiers. Would you stop that? Hey, chill. This is the champion tier. I'm just going to go over that one tier real quick. The champion tier comes with the hilt, a blade, a 6 or 12 watt LED, and a sound font. Okay, the sound font is what makes the champion tier awesome. Another thing I would want to point out, he also got a blade plug with his saber. And it's actually rather interesting because his blade plug is different from mine. This is the blade plug that his Acolyte came with, and this is the blade plug my Disciple came with. Now, they are the same type of blade plug, but the difference is the weathering. If you get a weathered hilt with a blade plug, this is most likely the blade plug that you will get. If you do not get a weathered blade plug, this is what it will look like. I just wanted to note this because I think it might be helpful to someone if they want a weathered hilt, but a non-weathered blade plug to go in their hilt. They could contact Saberforge and be like, hey, could you not weather my blade plug? I also want to point out, for the Acolyte, in my previous video I mentioned how the points on my Disciple were rather sharp and actually ended up cutting me after using it. On the Acolyte, they have the same problem. These are very sharp, okay? Just touching them, it's like, wow, that would really suck if that somehow got hooked underneath a lab of skin and just pulled. So these will end up getting filed down. But again, just heads up, if you're going to purchase this, you might want to have some way to file this down, or maybe ask Saberforge if they could. So just another observation on the Acolyte. All in all though, Saberforge, you did good again. The only thing I'm disappointed in is the blade quality and how the blades actually fit inside these sabers. Saberforges for me are probably just going to be for show. I'm not going to be dueling with them at all because I don't want to go through blades. Beautiful sabers though, absolutely gorgeous. Awesome soundboard, great quality sound, beautiful work. If you liked the video, go ahead and hit the like button down below, and also subscribe if you want to see more of me. There will be more videos to come as I expand on my collection of sabers. So I want to get the word out that, you know, Saberforge is a great company, but they also need to acknowledge the fact that some of their hilts end up breaking blades because they only have a single screw. I would love to see them fix this. I'm going to continue purchasing from Saberforge. I'm also going to promote another channel that I have called After Hour Effects. That's actually what these two masks are for. They are going to be showing in an upcoming video on how to make a full head helmet out of plaster bandages and clay and other things that you find around the house. It's a great channel if you want to get your hands dirty on building costumes, prop building, anything you can really think of. Link is in the description below. Head on over there, check it out. It's awesome stuff. Subscribe to it, share it with your friends. It's awesome. Again, I appreciate you tuning in this video, and I will see you guys next time. Later. Stupid me.